Alright guys, how's it going? Emmett here, welcome back to another video. So, you're struggling with generating new leads, appointments, and clients for your business. Why else would you be watching the video at the end of the day? You've probably heard about campaigns, about, oh, you need to implement this funnel, you need to implement this lead magnet, you need to implement this free resource for first-time buyer guide. Sign up to get my first-time buyer guide, join my email list. And the whole expectation behind that is like, oh, you need to be patient, you need to have this growth mindset, and you need to get people on your list, and like they'll come in over time and stuff like that. But sure, there may be some truth to that, of course. I'm sure. I'm not saying people aren't seeing success with that, but the point is that you aren't, which is why you're watching the video. And you've heard about implementing these things, and you've probably tried implementing some of them as well, but with little to no success, and you're still stuck without an actual predictable way to generate new clients for your business. Obviously, word of mouth organic is fine, but you probably have a larger vision. You want to take on more business than you can write, take on the advisor to help with that, even grow a business, because at the end of the day, the whole thing about being a mortgage broker, about being a broker or being an advisor is that you have that time freedom, but by building the leverage, and you do have that runway, at the end of the day, you're a business owner. You can free up even more of time, live life the way you want. Ultimately, that's what everybody's trying to do, all right? But I believe I have the answer for you, and I'm not just going to tell you to implement a funnel or give you some piece of marketing advice or secret tool or secret trick that once plugged in is going to, magically fix your business overnight, reduce your cost per acquisition, reduce your cost per appointment, massively increase your profit margins. That's not what this video is going to do. I want to talk to you about the way that you view things and the way that you see marketing within your business, and why this probably has more of an impact on what you're doing and the results that you're seeing than you think. Now, if you've heard that and you're thinking, oh, who is this guy? He's only 22 years old. I was born in the 2000s, for goodness sake, if you're watching this. How on earth can he have enough life experience to tell me how to look at life and how to view my own business? Just hear me out. It's only a short video. I want to talk you through it. And if you even wanted to pretend that what I'm saying is true for like a day, just pretend it's true, have some faith, have some confidence in it, and come back and tell me the results. At the end of the day, it's one day out of 365 this year. I'm sure you can afford yourself one day, 0.03%. So let's run through it. Basically, right, you probably think that you've maybe been dealt a bad hand. You've got a bad set of circumstances. Life is getting you down, okay? And yeah, you just can't make it work. But the truth is that there's a bit more to it. Everybody thinks that life happens to them and they're struggling to grow their business. But the truth is that you happen to life. And the way that you look at life and the way that you believe things to be is how life reflects itself back to you. So if you believe that it's difficult to get new clients for your business, if you believe that this marketing funnel isn't going to work, if you believe that it's difficult to get people into your funnel, then life is going to reflect itself back to you in that manner. It will be difficult to get people into your funnel. It will be difficult to grow your business, to get new clients, to get new appointments. And it all just comes back down to a very, very simple chain of cause and effect at the end of the day. Everything in this universe, in this world, is cause and effect. No effect can happen without a cause. And what I mean by this, I mean action, just actually doing something and then getting a result from it. But this goes a little deeper than simply cause and effect, because all of our actions are as a result of our beliefs. And I have written this down because I want to make sure that the video is accurate. So the chain of action is your beliefs, your thoughts, your options, and your actions. And this is what determines your reality. So the beliefs that you hold will determine the thoughts that you have on a daily basis. So you might think to yourself, let's take just a really obscure example. You might believe that you're an athlete, okay? You're really fit, you're a brilliant runner. You believe that in your head. And you can imagine what the thoughts of an athlete, a professional runner would look like. They would think to themselves, oh, I need to train today. I need to get up. I need to eat well. I need to maintain my weight so that I can run faster. And I need to get some good times up on the scoreboard, ultimately. Those are going to be their thoughts. And they're thinking about training, okay? The options that they're going to perceive for the day are going to be to train in the morning, to train in the afternoon, train in the evening. Maybe they have a couple of things that they need to see to that day and they need to work their training around it. And that'll be the options that they perceive. And their actual actions will be determined by their options. They might decide that they want to train in the evening. They have a couple of stuff that they want to take care of. Let's train in the evening whenever I get everything else out of the way. but I need to get my session in because remember, I'm an athlete. I believe I'm an athlete. And that's what they'll actually do. Those are the actions that they'll take, and reality will reflect itself back to them in that way. They'll show up, they'll train, they'll do this over the course of a month, 2 months. They'll show up to a race, they'll win the race, and before you know it, reinforces that belief even further. Now, what does this actually have to do with your business? And what does it have to do with generating new leads and clients? So we can apply this to whatever you want. Let's just take, no bias here whatsoever, online lead generation, for example. If you want any videos on how to do this, check out the rest of my content. But you might believe that online lead generation, let's just say it doesn't work, okay? Online lead generation does not work for mortgage advice. You can't get new appointments or clients through online lead generation because the quality is really poor. They rarely pick up the phone, and yeah, there's just not intent. All right, so we've got all three of these things playing against our favor. So those are your beliefs, okay? Now, what are your thoughts going to be? Your thoughts are going to be, well, this doesn't really work. So because there's such a high risk and such a low level of return, I don't want to invest really a lot of time, effort, money, or even thought energy into it. It's not really something that I want to do that on that large of a scale. I just don't see how it's going to benefit my business. So that's going to affect your options that you can perceive. You are thinking that it's not something that you want to put a lot of money into, so you're not going to put a lot of money into it. You're thinking it's something you don't want to put a lot of time into, so it's not something you put a lot of time into learning about, into developing a proper strategy around. And even if you are to go for it, you still don't think that the leads are going to be of good quality or that they're going to pick up the phone. So the options that you're going to perceive are that you can try call them, but is there really any point? You'll maybe try ring them once, and yeah, if they don't answer, the lead sucks anyway, there's no point. It's not worth my time pursuing this lead any further. And you'll just let them go. So before you know it, let's say you did actually go ahead and spend, 100 quid in paid advertising, you generated 10 leads. You might ring them and you just throw 90% of the leads down the bin because they didn't answer the phone, which is absolutely crazy. But anyways, and your actions are going to be that, number one, you don't spend a lot of time learning about it. Number two, you don't spend a lot of money investing in it. And number three, that you don't actually spend time fueling the system. If you do put something in place, whenever I say fueling the system, I mean showing up, putting in the daily inputs to actually improve the campaigns and improve the things that you're implementing in your business. And that pretty much determines what you get. You will determine a reality and manifest a reality that is not one in line with what's best suited for your business, which is new clients, new appointments at a reasonable cost, good profit margins, good return on your investment. But there's two sides of the coin here. I'll just run through this one quickly, because I know that took a good couple of minutes. Let's say you do believe it's going to work. You believe that there's good quality. You believe that it is worth investing a lot of money into this because you'll get a good return on spend, and it's worth investing your time into because you know that it works. You know it's worked for other people, and you're going to learn the lessons that they've learned, implement it into your own campaign. Your thoughts are going to be, I can't wait to get started with this. My business is going to explode with this. I'm going to get so many inquiries, so many appointments, so many new clients for my business using this online lead generation campaign. And your options are going to be determined by this. So if you think it's going to be insane, you're like, I definitely need to do this. I can spend thousands of pounds on it. I can spend hours staying on top of the campaign. I can spend hours following up with the leads every day. They're going to be your options. And your actions are going to be determined by those. You will spend a lot of money. You will spend a lot of time ensuring that the campaign is done right, investing in your creatives, investing in your copyright, and investing in following up with these leads. And it's going to determine your reality as well, because you're going to have a better performing campaign, which gets you a better cost per lead, better cost per appointment, better cost per acquisition of client, and ultimately you'll get a better return on investment from it. And you might think that, this is a pile of rubbish, but truth be told, you can have a look at the industry, you know what I mean? How many people do you know who have had good experiences with online lead generation, for example? Probably not that many. Now ask yourself, how many people do you know have a positive outlook on online lead generation and generating leads through campaigns online? And you'll probably say, not that many. And you might think, well, the only reason that they don't have a good outlook on it is because of the fact that it doesn't work. But you'll remember what I said in the beginning. Life does not happen to you. You happen to life. Your reality is a direct output and a direct reflection of the beliefs, thoughts, options, and actions that you have taken. It's the cause and effect. It's not effect and cause. It's not how it works. Your cause is your belief system. and your effect is the reality that manifests as a belief of the cause. And these are universal laws, cause and effect. Don't think anyone wants to come on and argue with me about cause and effect, okay? But to come around and say, online lead generation doesn't work, and then believe that as a result of it, that's not really how that works. That's allowing a cause to be determined by an effect, and that doesn't make any sense. It's effects that are determined by causes, not the other way around. So I'll just repeat that to say that online lead generation doesn't work and hold that belief because of experiences that you've had in the past. It's the wrong way around. The reason that you don't believe that is because you've seen it not working, but the reason it didn't work is because you went into it with a poor attitude in the first place. You have the belief that the leads are poor quality, so you don't spend the time investing in the campaigns or following up with them. It's not worth your time at the end of the day, so why would you bother? And it reflects that reality back to you, reinforces those beliefs, and it's a vicious circle. This can keep going and going and going, whereby it gets even worse. All of a sudden you start telling everybody, like, oh, this is fucking shit, guys, stay away from it, no way. And some lunatic will be like, but I really need business, and they'll go into it half-heartedly, and before you know it, it forms a really, really vicious cycle. But at the end of the day, the pendulum swings both ways. It only takes a guy like me to come in as an outsider and recognize, there's this big, massive, echo chamber, like, oh, it really doesn't work, there's no way. But then also look at what these people are doing, what their inputs are, and it's per social media, organically, per funnels, per campaigns. I don't think I've ever saw a good ad for mortgage advice on Facebook or on Instagram, and that's not meant to be offensive to anybody, but I don't think I've ever saw a good one. This is a personal insight. What's recommended in my space to get inspiration for what you do is to check what your top competitors are doing. And I couldn't fucking do it because it didn't exist. There were no competitors for me to analyze when it came to mortgage advice and mortgage ads online. So I had to do it myself. But I knew that it worked. I've saw the results coming from online campaigns in different industries. I'd fucking done it for multiple people. But I saw that there was an opportunity when it came to mortgages because everybody believed that it didn't. There was such an opportunity for financial returns, and a good return on investment for mortgage advice, because it is such a lucrative business at the end of the day. And I said, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to fucking do it. Everybody says it doesn't work. I know it does, and I know how people act, and I know how people believe, and I know how people think as well. And I also recognize one of the very basic principles of the universe, which is cause and effect. So if I come into this with the belief that it will work, and I have some faith, and I actually put some confidence behind my actions, that I'll more than likely create a reality that reflects my beliefs, which is ultimately how everything goes in life. So if you want to take anything from this video, it's that life doesn't happen to you, you happen to life. Your outlook is what determines the reality that you live in, not the other way around. It's very easy to say, oh, well, I don't like my situation. Life's too hard on me. I've been dealt a bad hand. And maybe that's a bit rich coming from me in a middle class family, but how does it serve you to say, oh, I was dealt a bad hand? Oh, I'm at a disadvantage because I didn't get this whenever I was younger, or I don't have this in place that this other person has. It doesn't serve you in any way. And if a belief doesn't serve you, then it does nothing but control you. So, Philosopher Emmett with his first video on mindset. If anybody enjoyed this, by the way, please let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to keep doing them if people find them to be useful. And this goes for all walks of business, not just mortgages. So if there's anybody else who typically wouldn't watch my videos, then I hope you enjoyed this one as well. But if you are looking for help with your mortgage business, with getting new clients, with getting new appointments, link in my bio, you can link in the description. You can go ahead and check about working with me one-to-one. I don't really care if you click it. It's not necessarily the reason that I make these videos. If you want free advice, which just goes through all my paid stuff, give it away for free. It's in the rest of my videos as well. But you're only paying me to implement it. So go ahead, have a look. I hope you can find some value from this as well. But I appreciate your time today. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you got some value from it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video as well. All the best.